May I have your attention, please? Now, we will begin the formal proceedings of this evening's ceremony. It is not too often that we get the opportunity to be under one roof with more than one legendary personalities. The organizers of this ceremony are keen to make this evening to remember. They want to show their admiration for Mahela Jayawardena, the old Nalandian who has brought so much glory to Nalanda College by conquering the cricketing world with sheer elegance. Mahela is one of the best batsmen produced by Sri Lanka and is generally held in high esteem and regard as a legend of the modern game. The organizing committee, comprised of all affiliated associations of Nalanda College, have been working very hard with great enthusiasm and commitment to ensure that you enjoy this evening and that you will take back home happy memories. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure now to invite Mr. Upul Gamage, the chief organizer of this ceremony, to welcome you warmly. Upul.
Chief guest, Mr. Mahela Jayawardena and Mrs. Jayawardena. Guest of honor, Mr. Kumar Sangakkara and Mrs. Sangakkara. Honorable Deputy Minister, Sanat Jayasuriya, Secretary to the Ministry of Post and Telecommunications. Distinguished invitees, ladies and gentlemen, very good evening. While I speak, you can enjoy your first course as well, which will be served to you. First of all, I'd like to thank the Old Boys Associations of Nalanda College who have come together as one unit to organize this adulation of Mahela Jayawardena. And thank you, Gagan, and thank you, Tilak, for inviting me to assist this committee and getting together a brilliant team to work with. The particular organizing team that was entrusted to me was brilliant, very professional, enthusiastic, and very novel. If you look at the back of the cover of the menu, all the names are there, and I can assure you each one of them worked very tirelessly and very innovatively to make this event a success. In case you are looking for any business partners or employees, take my advice, these are the guys who will do a super job. Talking of the menu card, you'll also see what we are serving to you today is not the regular appetizer, main course, and the first course, and the things like that. What you are really enjoying are the best test innings of Mahela Jayawardena, if you read the menu carefully. We have even gone to the extent of offering you a sorbet of 2003, which was the worst year of Mahela Jayawardena's career. I hope, Mahela, you agree. As I said about the committee came up with beautiful novel ideas, and one such idea was Mahela My Hero project. What Saranga Vijayaratna, who initiated this from newspapers, what he wanted was that all Nalanda College boys, students, to write about Mahela one page as Mahela Mage Veeraya. Now this actually we gave school 2 weeks, but the school started on the 1st of this month. Therefore, the school could not get the whole thing going. But we have assurance from the Prefect of Games and the Principal that Mahela My Hero project will be implemented, and this book will be presented to, not to Mahela or Christina, but to the parents, I suppose. So thank you very much, committee. Thank you very much, Saranga Vijayaratna, for the brilliant idea of Mahela My Hero. So while enjoy your meal, my purpose is to welcome you and also to explain why do we adulate Mahela Jayawardena. Adulation is a bit of a thing where we lionize a person as opposed to felicitating, and also a little bit of flattering. So Mahela, today, when you listen to the speeches, you may have to blush a little bit, maybe hold Christina's hand, and go through these adulations and the flattery for some time, right? Actually, when we are honoring Mahela, we have heard enough about his statistics, what he has done, what he has been achieving. But today what we are going to look at is, I'm sure Mr. Kumar Sangakkara in his keynote speech also will touch some, how Mahela came into being, what he is today, and why the whole country is standing and honoring him for the services he has rendered to the cricket team. As such, we need to know, we all know he was a product of Nalanda College. And how did Mahela become such a great cricketer at Nalanda College? March 1999, Mr. Premasar Appasinghe wrote an article in the Daily News. It goes as, I quote, "Soft-spoken Jayawardena is a technically correct, disciplined cricketer with commitment to the game. He is prepared to learn. He is level-headed and intelligent. These qualities will help any cricketer to go up in the ladder. Those are some of the qualities I observed about this young cricketer at the inception. The greatness of a player lies in his humbleness. The more you go higher, higher, be humble and nice to people. See that you never forget your past. The moment you forget your past, and if your mighty deeds get into your head, gradually your decline will start," unquote. That was Premasar Appasinghe way back in 1999, March. Ladies and gentlemen, what we need to know is we are meeting here today after 15 years of this article by Premasar Appasinghe. And why we are adulating him is because the deeds that were spoken about 15 years ago, he stood by and he adhered to the last letter until his retirement. So, Nalanda became a force to be reckoned with in cricket over a very long period of time. We had Mr. Jerry Gunaratne, who took over as the coach of Nalanda cricket way back in 1947. Jerry Gunaratne was an old Josephian, and his master in charge and the prefect of games was a Tamil Hindu gentleman called Mr. Kandasamy. So these two gentlemen and another person who is here today, who was a ground boy at that time, a very young person, three of them have been involved in the best times of Nalanda cricket. Ladies and gentlemen, may I just acknowledge the ground boy in 1950s, Mr. Edwin, whom we have got down today. Idea. We got him down specially because he had been Mahela's ground boy from the time Mahela started at under 13. He is very timid now, but you know, if you are under 13 cricketer as I was, he is the worst person. He will push you around, he'll shove you around, he will not give you anything until you are under 17 years. Yeah? So, Jerry Gunaratne and Kandasamy created a certain culture in Nalanda cricket at the Nalanda College. Now, the culture is something that we have inherited at Nalanda, which is the Nalanda cricket culture. This particular culture has produced great cricketers. Of course, these cricketers were ably assisted by prefects of games such as Mr. Kandasamy, starting with Mr. Stanley Munasinghe, Premasar Appasinghe, Lionel Mendes, Nelson Mendes, Cecil Gamage, and Trevor Nugegoda, who incidentally who happened to be Mr. Mahela's prefect of games as well. In addition to that, I must also say the Kuppiyatha Junction plays a big role in Nalanda cricket culture. The people at Kupiata Junction, such as all the people such as Sena, Taraka, all of them watch every match of Nalanda and they help Nalanda cricket. We need to acknowledge their contribution as well. So, Nalanda culture produced cricketers like Stanley Jayasinghe, Karl Obesekara. Then also we had one Mahinda Athulat Mudali, who was a left-arm spinner who could not play for Sri Lanka because he used to always fight with the selectors. I believe Mahinda Athulat Mudali is here, one of the best left-arm spinners in 1950s in Sri Lanka. Then we also had Lalit Kaluperuma, Bandula Warnapura, Anura Ranasinghe, Roshan Mahanama, Asanka Gurusinghe, Kumar Dharmasena, to name a few. So what I say is, if Mahela had not gone to Nalanda College, would he be here today, been adulated and achieved all these things? I leave it to you. He could be at Trinity, yes, if another school, probably if he was at Agalavatta, Mihidu, where my village is, no, he would not be here. So I think Nalanda College can take a little bit of credit, as much as SSC Sinhalese Sports Club, I think, is represented here by Mr. Dodamvela, and of course Sri Lanka Cricket represented by Nishantha Ranatunga here today, for having molded Mahela and taken up to this stage to be the greatest cricketer that we have produced so far. What I'm trying to say is, Nalanda, Mahela was made into the greatness by Nalanda cricket culture. This is something the present generation, present students should know, because it is not the player, it is the culture within the school. I'm very glad to see our principal, Colonel Jayasundar, also here, because it's the administration, the students, everyone who has to absorb this culture. Otherwise, there will be no more Mahelas being produced from Nalanda if we do not ensure the Nalanda's traditional cricket culture is nurtured. Okay. So that's about how Nalanda cricket produced Mahela. I believe I got 10 minutes, Gagan. I need another 5 minutes. Now, Mahela's retirement drew huge response from right across the country. It's unbelievable. My brother called me and said, Meka, me head of state kenek wageni. Like, the whole country, the newspapers, the media, everyone was so triggered about his retirement. It was unbelievable. On a weekday, to watch the last day of the match, the crowd that thronged the grounds was amazing. Why? Because Mahela created a brand on the field and off the field. That is why this response is. On the field performance, we all know, but there are lots of cricketers who have retired with superb averages, highest number of wickets, runs and everything. But what makes Mahela different is his off-field behavior as well, because he behaves like a human being. Talking of Sri Lankan human beings, I must relate a small story about Kumar as well, a personal story. Kumar and Sangha is here. Kumar, we appreciate very much your presence here today, because we recall with gratitude your presence at the previous felicitation of Mahela. My personal story about Kumar is that my wife, wherever she goes with a camera. You can't escape her. She's gone to the Odell one day and she spots Kumar Sangakkara. And what does she do? She wants to take photographs with all these celebrities. He said, Kumar, can I take a photograph of you? So Kumar very happily obliges, and Nandita she's trying to take the photograph of Kumar. Now who comes and then says, no, you also go for the photograph. I'll take both of you. Who is this? Mrs. Sangakkara, the Candila Missy. Right? Now, in which country a cricketer's wife will come forward for an unknown strange lady to take the photograph of your husband, and the wife herself goes and takes a photograph of this gentleman? Now, this is why I say that our cricketers, Sri Lankan cricketers, are human beings, quite unlike the rest of the subcontinent cricketers, and for that matter, the rest of the world. And that is why we need to adulate Mahela and not really felicitate only, right? among all this euphoria of articles, televisions, radios, all that, there was a Sinhala newspaper that wrote an article on the opposite page of editorial of a Sinhala newspaper by one Veera Surya. The heading was Mahela Mahogaya. Now Mahela, we know actually Senarataya, he has named Mahela to be Mahela, head of Hela, right, of Sri Lanka or Sinhalese. But what is Mahogaya? I'm sure being all old Nalandians here, having taught by Mrs. Gunasena and Mr. Amarasinghe, and I'm sure the principals here would vouch. All of you all know the meaning of Mahogaya, probably. Yes, old Nalandians, and probably only Trinitian in our midst, Kumar, he's also a well-read person, I'm sure he also knows. Mahogaya is a huge draft of water. You can call it a flash flood, right? What Mahogaya does is, the rivers that flow naturally, a Mahogaya, a flash flood will come, it will correct the path of the river. If a river is taking certain bends wrongly, the Mahogaya will make it flow correctly. A Mahogaya is needed once in every centuries. I'm sure you all knew that, right? Thanks. Now, why he was referring to Mahela Mahogaya is Mahela did a lot of changes to cricket in Sri Lanka. To start with, Nalanda cricket. I recall in 1990s, early 90s, I believe Jayanta Seniviratne is here, his senior coach. He was talking to one of the old Nalandians called Gamanu Gunawardena, who's not a cricketer, who's never held a bat. In early 90s, only Roshan Mahanama and Asanka Gurusinghe were playing for Sri Lanka. We are used to having more Nalandians playing for Sri Lanka. So Gamanu asked Jayanta, who was a senior coach, he said, Machang, Nalanda kollu nadda team ekata? He said, yes, there's a dearth. In Jayanta Seniviratne's, in his own words, what he said is, Machang, kollek innoa, oka kawada hari gahanawa Sri Lankawata, කවදා හරි ශ්‍රී ලංකා ගහනවා අපි කවුරුවත් ගහපු නැති ක්‍රිකට් එකක් ඕක ගහනවා. And in exact words, you know how we Nalandians, when we casually talk, we talk, right? We can also. He said, අපි කවුරුවත් ගහලා නැති ක්‍රිකට් එකක් ඕක ගහනවා. And true to his word, today, after 23 years, why are we meeting here? ඒකා ඒ වගේ ක්‍රිකට් එකක් ගැහුවා, right? So thank you. So thank you, Jayanta. Thank you, Leslie. Thank you, Mr. Lionel Mendes, who is also my coach. Thank you for nurturing a cricketer like this who did a Mahogaya at Nalanda cricket. And what is a Mahogaya, what he did for Sri Lanka cricket? Sri Lanka cricket was after the tenure of Arjuna Ranatunga, Aravinda De Silvas, and Sanath Jayasuriya. We are very happy to have you here today, right? Then there was a vacuum. Now, when there's a vacuum, some people have to take over and run. Now, who did run for Sri Lanka cricket? We're very happy that we have both of them here today. And both of them happen to be very, very good friends. Now, for Sri Lanka cricket, what he did was not only what his previous generation did, but he did a lot more, bringing in discipline, bringing in culture, bringing in quality and class. Right? We also have Mahela taking the Spirit of Cricket Award twice, Sangha going and delivering one of the best Cowdrey Memorial Awards, like that. The Nalanda, Sri Lanka cricket was taken to a different level by Mahela and, of course, ably assisted by Sangha. So that was the Mahogaya that was done for Sri Lanka cricket. So, my first course I have missed, I think it's been cleared. And I was given 10 minutes and I exceeded by a great length. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Such a short notice coming here today, accepting our invitations and this great event. Thank you all the invitees for coming in here for the adulation of Mahela Jayawardena. Thank you specifically, Kumar, for being here today, and Mr. Lionel Mendes for being here today. I know he is not the type who goes out late into nights anymore. That's what he has told. Thank you very much. We have a host of things in store for you, and enjoy the evening and have a good evening. Thanks.